What's up guys, Coach Panda here, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the items in set 4 and how they're different than in set 3, and I'm going to be ranking them in each tier, and then I'm going to be talking about why I put them or why I rank them where I did. So yeah, let's begin. Also, this set, I've played some set 4, I didn't play a lot of PvE. Set 4, it's hard. I think it's a lot harder than set 3. I don't think it's like insanely difficult like a lot of people are saying, but I feel like I don't know. It's just like there's so much more variety because anything can be strong, and then playing your strongest board is kind of hard, when to sell your chosen, when to keep your chosen. I've been trying to figure out the patch as much as possible, and I didn't want to upload any content that was like just to upload, you know. I don't want to upload a game and just to show you something whenever I'm playing at such a low level. Like, it's just embarrassing for myself, and I'm not that kind of, well, I just don't want to be that kind of person. No shame if you are, I don't really care. But yeah, let's begin. Okay, let's talk about the item changes from set 3 to set 4. So Rod got nerfed, Bloodthirster got slightly nerfed, Chalice, 20 seconds to all rounds, okay, buffed. Deathblade, 25 to 20, okay. Slight nerf, Dragon Claw a little better, Giant Slayer changed it. They changed the 10%, they changed it to where like normal like damage only gives a 10% bonus, and then the 90% is for excess of like 1850 health, which is really good in this current meta. I'll talk about that later. Rageblade, really strong, it's a 20% buff right here. Gunblade, slightly nerfed. Gunblade was really strong. Like, Gunblade was such an underrated item in set 3, like set 3.5. Because once they added the shield ability, man, that item was strong. And then everyone started building it in Star Guardians. By the way, rest in peace, Star Guardians. I will not miss that comp. Anyway, Infinity Edge, they changed it. This is the only one where I'm not sure how good it is. Because they changed it to where, like, back then it used to be you get 120% extra damage on your crit, like if you were to crit, and you get 100% crit. But now it's you get 75 crit chance, and then any excess crit, it does extra damage, like 1% extra crit damage. Kind of weird, but really good on like assassins and Jhin. Not that great on like a lot of champions because I don't know. I think other items. This meta is really weird. Yeah. This is the explanation right here. Jeweled Gauntlet, huge buff, very, very strong item now. If you can pair the Jeweled Gauntlet with Infinity Edge, it's so strong right now. Because, yeah, it does 50% extra damage. I think there's a lot of damage in this current set right now, like the current meta. That's why I'll talk about how some of the items kind of suck now in this set. I'm not sure when they're going to change it and how they're going to do a lot of patches, because this is 10.19. So this is where there's only been, you know, this is the first patch of the new set. Death Cap, yeah, slightly nerfed. QSS, really strong now. Gonna talk about that later. Slightly buffed, 20%. Luden's garbage item. Don't ever run that item. At least in 10.19, don't run the item. Hurricane, pretty good still. Okay, I mean, not that great. Sojins, this was an interesting change. It now does instead of like doing 18% of max mana per auto after first cast, it does 5 mana per auto. So this is good on some champions, bad on others, but generally I would say it's good. Like overall, because like in set 4, the mana pools aren't as high. Like the champion's base mana isn't as high. Meaning, like, a lot of champions and units start off with lower mana. Like a lower max mana. Shiv, slightly nerfed, but still, like, okay. Not an item I would really build, but... Unless you're, like, streaking, because it just falls off late game a lot. And yeah, let's get to the item tier list. Okay, let's start off. Oh, also, I won't be doing spat items because that is comp dependent and meta dependent. So it doesn't make sense to rank it in here whenever, you know, like If Elderwood is strong a patch, obviously it'll just be up here because Elderwood is broken, everyone's playing it. Then you just, it doesn't make sense. So this is subject to change. I wanted to do something that wouldn't really change often. But anyway, let's start off with the first item, Bloodthirster. I would put Bloodthirster in A tier. It's really good on like Talon. It's good on like assassins, certain Talon, like certain assassins. It's okay on Ashe if you need like sustain. It's a pretty good item. Not like the best. Like I wouldn't put it as like a main, like the best damage item, but it's still pretty good. Okay, blue buff. Blue buff, I'd probably put it in probably S tier. I think blue buff is really good. Brambles, the thing is not a lot of people are building AD damage. There's a lot of spell damage, and then I don't think Brambles is as good anymore. Not in this current meta. I would put it either B or C. I'd probably put it B. And then Deathblade, I think it's an S tier item right now. Let's see, Chalice, not really worth building because tier and Sojin is pretty good. I think it's a waste of your tier, but it's okay if like you just have like a random tier left over, you know. So I'll just put it B tier. I think it's okay. Force of Nature, obviously S tier. Always build that if you can. Pull it off carousel 100% of the time. Frozen Heart, kind of sucks in this current meta. I don't think it's very good, because like, it's hard to like access backline because a lot of the team fights in TFT right now are front to back, and then the only way you can access backline is an assassin. And then like, why would you put this on an assassin when you can just stack damage items and one shot their carry versus putting Frozen Heart? And plus, it wastes a tier. So not a fan of the item, honestly. Dragon Claw, super underrated item. I would put it before, like I would put it in the front of B tier because there's a lot of magic damage, as I said, and yeah, it's pretty good. Giant Slayer, probably S tier. Yeah, there's a like in 10.19, Ashe Brawler is very strong and really annoying to play against because everyone kind of plays it. So Giant Slayer, now that they changed it to 90% extra damage on 1850 health or over, it just like completely melts them. So I always usually build this if I can. I think it's a really good item. And then let's see, Stone Plate. Stone Plate, I would probably put it A tier. I think it's a really good item. It's just that, yeah, it's a solid item. There's nothing wrong with the item. I really like the item because it's really good on like solo frontline, because the more people that target you, it gives you like 12 armor and magic resist per person targeting you. So it's really good. GA, S tier. Always will be S tier. Unless they just do something crazy. I just think it's a good item. Most flexible item in the game, in my opinion. Yeah, good item. Let's see. Rageblade. Rageblade, I would put S tier now because they're okay, maybe not S tier. I don't know. Okay, S tier, but it's in the back of the list because here's the thing: Rageblade is really good on Ashe in 10.19 because they give it a 20% buff. I think it's a pretty good item. It's good on like any like AD. Like it's good on sharpshooters. It's good on Ashe. It's decent on Gen. Like it's okay. Yeah, but it's like best in slot for Ashe. So, and Ashe is really strong this set, and I don't see them heavily nerfing her anytime soon because I feel like she's just like a fan favorite. Like everyone loves Ashe. She's just a cool champion. Hand of Justice, really good item. I'd put it A tier. Not the best, not the worst. Definitely a good damage item. So yeah, good on like a lot of units. Gunblade. I don't know about S tier, but it's a really good item. Maybe front of the list. I'll put it front of the list. Bloodthirster goes behind the list. Okay, yeah, it's really good on Diana right now. I don't know if anyone's playing Moonlight Diana, and then you hit Diana 4, and then you run like 2 assassins, 4 enlightened with Diana. It's so strong. Only if you get Moonlight like chosen though. Yeah, really broken. Just overall a good item. Now that it gives the shield. Even though they nerfed it, it's still good. Spark, huh. I think Spark is A tier now. The thing with Spark is that rods are kind of valuable in this set, and I don't know if I'd put it S tier. It's still really good, but fights happen like pretty quick now. I would put it here. Maybe here, but nah, I put it A tier. A tier. We're going with A tier. I.e., this is the only item I don't really know how good it is right now. I've asked like some people, like some streamers, and I don't know. It just seems less flexible than it used to be. It could be an S tier, but I'm gonna put it A tier because I'm really not that sure. But I think it's overall decent item. Not really the best on anyone except for Jin and Assassins. Joe Gauntlet, S tier. Super strong item. I think it's better than Deathcap. Build it if you can. Last Whisper, pretty useless right now, at least in this current meta. This is subject to change, by the way. But this can be an S tier or A tier item. It's just in the current meta, 10.19, it's a B tier item because no one even builds Bramble. Everyone just goes Brawlers. So there's no like defensive. Like you don't need like Armor Pen, unless like you're against Bonky Kong or something, which is the Wukong carry. But even then, it's like I think it's a waste of an item because there's usually only like one person playing Bonky Kong, which is 4 Vanguard, 4 Mystic. And like, I think Giant Slayer is just overall better, you know? Locket, garbage, don't build it. You're trolling if you build it. As in like, if you have leftover items, it's okay. But I would never like, oh my god, Locket. Let me build a Locket real quick, you know? Unless I want to go 8th. This item sucks. Like, it takes a rod, which is kind of valuable this set. It takes a tier, which is also very valuable. So therefore you never build this item because it also falls off late game. So the only scenario I could see you making this is if you, I don't know, like if you just really are win streaking like crazy and you want to keep the streak going. But even then it's like, would you really build that? Probably not. Morello's, good item, A tier item. Always will be an A tier item. Can't be an S tier because it's never like, well, it's really going to Morgana right now because Morgana's pull just it applies, like it hits the whole map basically. And the reason I don't put it higher is because I think Sunfire Cape is an S tier item, by the way. I don't know what order I'd put it in. Maybe the order doesn't really matter. It's kind of like whatever, but Sunfire, I'd put it right here. I'd definitely put blue buff. Like this. Something like that for S tier. Alright, QSS. In this current meta, it's an S tier item. And in this current set, it's an S tier item. The reason I think it's an S tier item because it blocks Adept, it blocks Dazzlers, it blocks the stupid annoying Aatrox pool, and yeah, it's good. It's really good on Ashe. I think best in slot Ashe items are QSS, Rageblade, and Giant Slayer. Deathcap, I don't think it's that great. Probably A tier. It's just, I don't think it's possible to put Deathcap in B tier because it's still a good item. It always will be a good item. Unless Riot just, I don't know. Whatever. RFC, I'd put it B tier. The only reason I put it B tier is because it's a good item for sure. But it takes 2 bows, and there's all these items. So why would you use this on 2 bows? This is only good on like melee units, like on Bonky Kong. I don't even know. It's good on Zed, obviously. It's good on Akali, but they're not like super hot in the meta right now. But even if they were, I think blue buff is more important for Akali, right? And then Zed, yeah, Zed you just want to stack these. But as of right now, it's not really that desirable. Plus, it takes 2 bows. It's like, I mean, if it's good on a melee unit, if you're running like a melee unit carry, chances are you can run this. If not, if melee carries aren't in the meta, then it's gonna suck. This item kind of sucks right now. It's okay. It's like, I mean, it's better than all these. I think it's like this. Yeah, it's okay. Takes a belt, takes a tier. Wouldn't be an item I ever prioritize, but if I had it left over, I'm cool with that. Like, I'd make it. Whatever. Hurricane, I honestly don't know. This item, I don't know if it's good on anyone right now. I mean, it's decent on gens. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. It's as of right now, it's just I'd put it in like a C tier, maybe B tier. Just cause like it takes one bow, and then the cloak. Cloak is useless. Least worst item in the game, like worst item to start. So I guess for how easy it is to build, I would put it here. Shroud. Shroud actually is not as good. Shroud used to be an S tier item. Not S tier, but maybe like A tier. But in terms of utility, it's the best utility item in the game. But now people's mana costs aren't as high. So it's not as good in set 4. So I would put it like in B tier. Like it's still okay to make. The problem is glove is really good. And you're really gonna waste a glove on this. And also Sunfire is good. So you're gonna waste an armor on this. There's so many good things you can make with glove and armor. So yeah. Next item, Sojins. I think it's an A tier item. I don't know the order. Maybe like this. Maybe yeah, like this. I don't. Okay, first of all, BT is last. Okay. BT barely makes the A tier cut. How about that? It's only good on like Talon, and I can't think of anyone else. But anyway, Static Shiv. B tier, I guess. Problem is it takes 2 good items again, and then it makes a kind of bad item. Like this item is okay if you're win streaking, but it's okay on Ashe, I guess. But if you okay, trust me, if you make this on Ashe, your damage is gonna fall off so hard late game. But it's okay. It's not bad. Whatever. It takes 2 good components. Otherwise, like if it took some garbage items, I'd put it higher. But takes 2 good items? Nah. Thieves Gloves. I think this is an A tier. I want to put it S tier because it's like super efficient, but it's like Hodge is pretty good right now. So takes 2 gloves. I don't know. I think Hodge is really underrated in general. Actually, I think Hodge is better than Gunblade. I think Stoneplate is better. So I think the order is like this. Yeah, something like that. I guess. BT's last. Deathcap, you kind of suck. Let's not kid around. Well, not suck, but compared to before. Titans, super underrated item. I'd put it here. Actually, I'd do this. Actually, that. Okay. I think Titans is really, really good. It's really strong on Yasuo. It's really strong on like any tank. And Riot like indirectly buffed this item right before set 3 ended, because they used to be 50 stacks for you to get the damage increase, but now they changed it to 25 stacks for a 50% damage increase. And that's an indirect buff, because before nothing could ever proc 50 stacks. Like it was almost impossible. But 25 is pretty easy to hit, and you will hit it. So good on Yasuo, good on Wukong if you're running Bonky Kong carry. Overall a decent item. I like it. I would build it. What's left? Trap Claw? I don't know, Trap Claw. I'd say A tier, because it still protects you from Aatrox, and it's pretty good. It's just that, yeah, I'd put it A tier. I would put it B tier if it took 2 good items, but only takes 1 good item, because Belt really isn't that useful in this. Not useful, not that it's not useful, but not super like desirable in this current set. Warmogs, A tier. Like just overall a good item, like good tanky item. Be careful. You need to scout the lobby if people are building Giant Slayers. If you're not scouting the lobby, probably don't build this. Like you need to pay attention whenever you're building this item, because it could just be worthless, or it could win you the game. Because this is a really, really tanky item. It's just that this is like the definition of a hard counter. So, you know, scout the lobby. Zephyr, not as good this set, in my opinion. I also think it's actually, I think, okay. Okay, whenever Zephyr becomes more popular in the future, don't come back and flame me, but in this current set, 10.19, it's not that good. Right now, it's like, I don't know, I just don't see people building it much. QSS kind of hard counters it, and I don't know, it's kind of waste of items. Just doesn't feel that impactful. I don't know. But I mean, it's good. It's like the second best utility item. It's probably better than Shroud, honestly. Right now, at least. Shroud really isn't that good right now. It's still good for sure. Probably second best, but I'll put the order like that. Honestly, who am I kidding? Shiv is last on this list. Actually, that's last. Yeah, something like that. Zeke's garbage. Don't overbuild this. Takes a sword, takes a belt. The belt's whatever, but the sword, like, come on. Like, sword is the most contested item right now. Save your swords for something better. Unless in the future, you know, blah, 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 whatever. Zizerot, garbage item. The reason this item sucks now, it went from, like, a pretty good item last set to terrible this set, is because, you just don't ever need it. Like, a comp will always be tanky enough. Like, there's so much, like, tankiness in the game already. Like, you don't need this. It's just overkill. Plus, it takes a bow. Maybe, I don't know if I'd put it last, but maybe, like, C tier. I don't think I'd put it D tier. Because D tier is, like, actually, I'd put it D tier. Because D tier, to me, is, you should never build this item unless it's a leftover item. So, yeah. It's D tier. Zizerot, oh, terrible item right now. But yeah, well, this is my tier list. I think the order is decent. The order is the only thing that could be like whatever, like the order in the rank. Kind of like whatever. It's generally in the right spot, but yeah, let me know if you agree or disagree with this tier list. I had fun making it. Sorry I haven't been posting a lot of content. I will try to post more set 4 content. I've been a little busy. And then also I've been having a lot of trouble learning this set. I think this set, you know, it's kind of hard. And I don't want to upload games where I suck. Because there's no point. Then you just watch anyone else on YouTube. And I want to be the guy on YouTube that actually uploads high level gameplay. If it's not high level, I will never bother posting it, in my opinion. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Coach Panda out. Peace out, guys.